Greetings from Act Now. As you no doubt know. Maybe you know. Oh, heck, maybe you don't. Therefore, I will explain, no matter what. On my previous channel, Tharanki Ramacharaka, and now here on this channel, Act Now, I have indicated in many different ways, repetitiously, affairs such as people are highly influenced by sensory input, highly influenced by repetition of sensory input. Therefore, one of the reasons why I repeat certain things here in my information, I say the same things over and over in different ways, different contexts, different levels of discourse, different points of view, hoping that sometime or other main points here will get through to every one of you. Repetition. I have made many inferences to repetition. I have made many references, implications, given many suggestions regarding the sheeple-like nature of human beings. I have talked about the grotesque ignorance of humanity. I have talked about the slave mentality of humanity. I have also talked about most human beings' arrogance. Even arrogance, mule-like stubbornness with respect to, no, we're not slave-like critters. No, we're not critters of influence like that. No, there's no consciousness hijacking going. No! I have talked about the music industry. I have talked about entertainment. I have talked about sensory input. I have talked about influences upon our minds that aren't good. Now, this is just another video about all of that. Maybe this one will help you to understand what I'm talking about. Alright. I have talked recently about the radio. Songs being played over and over and over and over. Alright, look. I don't listen to much music. I was once involved in the music industry. I was once involved in rock and roll composition and playing live, and I was in bands and so forth. And oh yeah, I like rock and roll, but I don't listen to it. I barely listen to any kind of music anymore, because almost all of it, if it's associated with the mainstream industry, is geared up to negatively impact our ways of being. Let me give you something specific here today now that I've generally introduced the subject. Once again, here we go. Recently, I was in an environment in which I had not much control over the radio playing in the background. As a matter of fact, not just the radio, but also songs selected by somebody. Songs, most of which I actually like. Back in my music listening days, these were songs that I would have chosen. But I know the impact that these things have, so I don't do it anymore. However, I found myself recently in an environment in which certain of these songs were being played repetitively. And there was one in particular that was being played repetitively lately. This went on for a period of about 1 week. Only 1 week. Every day, all day. Now, that hasn't happened for several days. But here's what I'm finding. Whether I realize it or not, well, I'm realizing it. I'm realizing it, but even when I'm not paying any attention to it, in the background of my mind, just like there had been the radio, the music playing audibly in the background of the atmosphere, okay, now in the background of my mental atmosphere, there's this one song playing. It's been going on for nearly 3 days. I wake up with it going on in my head. I try to go to sleep with it going on in my head. It's just the same couple of stanzas over and over. I can barely tell when this little set of stanzas ends and then it repeats itself like a loop. I can't really tell. It's just this constant 1 or 2 stanza things going on and on, like it's all one continuous composition, practically unchanging, on and on. It's hard to get it to stop. I know methods. I have practiced in my life. I have developed, I have studied, I have researched, I have compiled, I have put together, I have tried to teach people methods to control our mental senses at work. For example, visualization, mental images. That's our mental visual sense at work. Well, there's also a mental auditory sense. Even given the things that I have done to practice control over that, this song, still, even so, is looping in my head. It is right now. As I make this video, it's there. Now, I propose that this happens to everybody who listens to same songs over and over. Now, you might listen to the radio in the background at work and you'll hear the same songs over and over. Or you may hear some song that you used to listen to over and over and you'll hear it once. And you may not realize that for some while, these songs or that song are going to play in your head over and over. You may not realize that they are doing it, but I propose that they are. I happen to be consciously aware of this specific song right now. But there have been moments during this last 2 or 3 days when I haven't heard it in my head. There have been those moments. But I'm willing to bet that the song was still looping in my mind, just below my conscious awareness. And at the moments during which I hear it in my head, that's when I am becoming consciously aware of it. But I'm willing to bet that the more I pay attention to this song looping, the more continuously I am going to hear it. Even though at times it may nearly fade away and be let's say, replaced or overwritten, as far as I'm consciously aware of, by other thoughts going on. I'm willing to bet that it's going on the whole while until it's gone. And who knows how long that could take. That could take another day, another 2 days, another week. I don't know. I just want it to stop. So here, number one, I'm willing to bet that it's going on. This is going on for almost everybody who is exposed to repetitious songs, repetitious music. This is going on in their heads, whether or not they are aware of it. This is how this stuff works. And number two, I am willing to bet. Of course, I am willing to bet. This is not even a bet. This isn't even a bet. I'm just saying. I'm just coming right out with it. No wager involved. No hypothetical, metaphorical wager involved. Whatever is the content of these songs, whether it's just the tone of the instrumentation, whether it's the genuineness of production. You know, like real instruments were at work, or fakeries of them, which, you know, the more the fake, the more levels of fakeness involved, the different the impact will be on our lives of these sounds, right? Whether it's the tone, the fakeness involved in the production of it, the lyrics, what they're saying explicitly, the hidden messages, the nuances, the subconscious suggestions in them, or subliminal messages put into the recording. Whatever the heck is going on with the stuff, if you play it backwards, for example, any entities that are attached to the music by way of the music industry's rituals whenever they produce the copies from the master recordings. If you have been watching my channel, you know everything I'm referring to here. All of those things, every time these songs are being played, audibly coming into the physical senses, okay, are having an impact. And every time they play without actual sensory input, just play over and over in our minds, whether or not we are consciously aware of it, that same impact is happening. This is not a metaphorical wager on my part. This is information that I am certain about. It is happening. That influence is happening. And the repetition, round and around and around and around and around and around. Yeah. And around. Every time it goes around again, that impact is going deeper. This is not a metaphorical wager on my part. No. If this sort of thing, if this general idea that I am proposing, that I am telling you here, this going deeper and deeper, and whatever messages are involved, whatever tones, whatever moods are involved, they get more convincing every time it goes around and gets deeper and deeper. It becomes more convincing, and we fall into line with that tone, with those suggestions, with those mental inductions, with those telementations, with those signals, those messages, those influences. Even if we at first just thought to ourselves, oh, it's just a song, no big deal, no impact, no influence on my life, it will not make me agree with its ideology. It does. If you think otherwise, then perhaps you need to take a look at whether or not you are extremely subject to being totally ignorant of consciousness hijacking in large in your life on this planet, with our species as you being a member of it. For example, maybe this will help. Don't we all know to some extent that we should not take no for an answer if we really want something to happen in our lives? For example, if you, Matthew, or whatever your name is, wants Sophia over there to go out with you, Matthew, regardless of your persistence in getting Sophia to go out with you, if you might be one of those guys who just, if you say, Sophia, would you like to go out with me? And she says no, then you go and you never ask her again because she said no. And you take no for an answer. Like you should do, because that's what we're told. No means no, right? Or whether, Matthew, you are the other kind of person with this matter, and you know not to take no for an answer. No doesn't mean no. It only meant no for a moment. It might turn to yes if you ask again. Therefore, you keep pounding away at her. You're a hound dog, Matthew, you're a hound dog. You keep on asking, Sophia, let's go get something, let's go out and, let's get a milkshake at Mel's Drive-In. Come on. Oh, not tonight? Well, what about tomorrow? Tomorrow, what are you doing? Why not? Why don't you want to? What do you mean you're busy? What about an hour after that? And you just keep chiseling away at what? At Sophia's will. That's what you're up to, you hound dog. You're hound dogging Sophia's will, aren't you? You're hounding it. You might even be creating some mental images. Sophia, just imagine a really nice milkshake. What's your favorite flavor? Huh? Well, just picture a nice big one sitting right in front of you right now. Throw in some mental imagery. Get her persuaded, right, by way of what? Repetition. That's right. You wear her down until she agrees. That no eventually becomes a yes. Not in every case. No, not in every case, but enough times out of enough times such that we know not to take no for an answer, even though no means no. Right? So, look, if Matthew, you asking Sophia out enough times such that even though she thinks you're an ugly asshole and at first would never be caught dead with you, eventually says yes, most likely, then how the hell wouldn't a song running over and over and over in your mind, consciously or subconsciously, have some kind of impact on the way you think and the way you feel and the way you act? And why in the world wouldn't its message, whether or not you at first in your life or whether or not you consciously even now would agree with its message, why the hell wouldn't it be slowly convincing you of the truth of its message or the alleged truth of its message? Whether it's a subliminal message, a hidden message, a double entendre, of this, of that, or just a mood. Do you get my drift? Do you get my drift? Yeah, hallelujah! Good grief. Does a person have to spell out every little in and out of how this stuff all works? If a person does, if a person has to tie together all these little ends, connect all these little dots for something to kick in, why? This is stuff that a 7-year-old should be able to figure out. Or is there some kind of consciousness hijacking that's been going on to keep these dots disconnected? Perhaps. Be well. Act now.